I tried to think of a creative, opening to my video today, but I couldn't think of anything, so yeah, anyways, I can't English. Hello, it's me, Pinkink, and welcome to another video. So this video is basically like a draw with me, but instead of just me drawing, I'm actually animating, so it's just gonna be a chill video of me just, like, rambling, and honestly, not really talking about the animation part. I will talk about it for a little bit, at the beginning, but then I will kind of just start rambling to, like, you guys about whatever the heck I want, because, there's a thing called loneliness, and there's a thing that, like, I don't have many friends to just ramble to, so you know what, let me make a video and just say whatever the heck I want. Anywho, before I ramble your ear off, I will start talking about the animation and kind of, like, give you context before I start. So I posted this animation of my character Eddie a while ago, and I'll just be showing, like, kind of the time lapse of the animation. Oh, and I kind of want to show you how I, like, kind of split up the animation into parts. Like, look.
You want a taste of my brain? Okay, it's yours anyway. A bite of my eye. Alright, I won't put up a fight. How about today you try eating someone else for a change? Because the way things are going, I won't last another day. You want a taste of my brain? Okay, it's yours anyway. A bite of my eye. Alright, I won't put up a fight. How about today you try eating someone else for a change? Because the way things are going, I won't last another day. You want a taste of my brain? Okay, it's yours anyway. A bite of my eye. Alright, I won't put up a fight. How about today you try eating someone else for a change? Because the way things are going, I won't last another day. You want a taste of my brain?
Okay, that's enough. That audio, I bet, got really annoying, didn't it? Of course, I could have just silenced the audio, but you know what? Everyone needs a little bit of torture in their life, you know? That was a joke, okay? Anyways, so this is gonna be like a podcasty style video where I'm just gonna be talking and you guys can do something else while I'm talking. Maybe start drawing if you're an artist, or maybe do some chores, or I don't know what you need to do. But yeah, anyways, now on to the rambling. I'm saying that like as if it's like a new segment of like a video or something. I feel like I'm a game show host. So I noticed I get sad and bummed out often, and like I was having a little conversation with my mother the other day, and then like she was like telling me this, like, oh, I should figure out like why, like, do you get sad and like what makes you happy? And then like kind of talking about that, like I started kind of rambling to her about just, oh, sorry, I have siblings, and they just like made a noise, so I wasn't sure if you could hear that. But anyways, so I was just like talking to her about just what was on my mind, and then I kind of slowly accidentally just started talking about my characters, and then she kind of interrupted me, and she's like, do you see this? Like, you're totally different. One moment you were kind of bummed out, and now that you're talking about your characters, you're like this totally different person. So I'm just like, oh wait, is the characters, that thing makes me happy? I just like talking about them, so that's what I'm gonna do in this video. I'm just gonna talk about them, even though I talk about them like all the time. But you know what, you subscribe to my channel, so that's what you're here for. Unless you're not subscribed, which that's okay too. Oh my god, I can't English. Anyways, but I remember I made a video quite recently, actually, talking about like all of my stories, because if you don't know, I have 10 stories, and I kind of just told you them like all summed up, like basically what the story is about. So I'm kind of gonna do that, but like a part 2, but like way more in depth, I guess, because I kind of like repeating myself, honestly, because I was thinking about all my stories and like if they became a show, what they would be rated, because the first story I ever created is like Amy's Adventure into the Unknown, and when I first made that story, I was like, I just turned 11, so I am a really wholesome person, so I like didn't really know things when I was 11, and like there's still a lot of things I don't know, but like I knew way less when I was 11. So Amy's Adventure to Unknown is like, I feel like it would be PG, but then as I started like getting older, like the story towards the end, some like bad stuff started happening, like, oh, okay. So I don't know, because I kind of need to like rethink that story, because like as I'm getting older and like making more stories, I'm kind of like falling out of love with that story, because like there is so freaking many characters in Amy's Adventure into the Unknown, and like they all have their own little stories, which is fun, but it kind of loses the plot. And also the 4 main characters, I don't really like any of them, especially Amy, which she is the main character, like the main one. So I'm just like, ooh. And then like my favorite is Chester, which he's not even a main character. He's actually the main villain. Well, he's one of the main villains. He's like, there's 3 main villains. Why did I say villains like that? But I know, but if it was a show, I feel like it would be PG, except the end. The end, I don't know. I'm not gonna say anything. And then the next story is called The Deck, which I think it might be PG, but like for older kids PG, I'm not sure, because like there is some heavy topics, but it's not like, well, maybe, I don't know, because like the main character kind of like is suffering through depression, and like he doesn't even know it until like it kind of hits him in the face one day. So I don't know, so maybe it would be like just PG, but like for older kids, I don't know. And also that story is kind of like, there's no magic in it. It's like kind of one of those stories that it could happen in real life. So like there is a plot, but like as in life, you can't just sum up your whole life. It's kind of like a whole roller coaster of things. So that's kind of how that story is. So I kind of give it a pass with like the plot isn't very clear, because there kind of isn't one. So yeah, because you know, life, it doesn't have just a straight plot, you know. There's so many mini stories within our lives, so yeah. And then the next story I made is called BSB Escape, which when I made it, I wanted to try to challenge myself and try to make something more horror. And then I realized I'm not good at that. Like, yes, I can do scary and like creepy, but like not like jump scares horror. I don't know, honestly, because I felt like I wanted to try to do like creepy stuff, and then I started just going into the characters' personalities, and then started going through backstories, and I'm like, oh wait, what's going on? So yeah, so that story kind of went on the back burner. If it was rated, I don't know. I guess like it could be PG, like, but just kids that like scary stuff. But like, I don't know, because some stuff does get scary, but like there's nothing inappropriate, so I don't know. But oh boy, the next story, The Tale of Jessie. I was thinking about this and like, wow, okay, that'd be PG 13 to 14. Because when I first made it, I don't know, I thought, yeah, it'll be for kids. And then like the more I went on, I think it's because I like made it more, I don't want to say recently, because I made it like a year or 2 ago. But like, you know, I was older, so everything bad I knew, I'm like, you know what? Let me shove it into this story, because I feel like the Tale of Jessie, the world's kind of messed up, and all the rules are really whack. Because it's like, I don't know, the hierarchy is all messed up and everything. So I'm just like, oh, that's not good. Let me put this other thing that's not good. And then it kind of just started shoving everything into that. Oh, and if you're new here, The Tale of Jessie is basically about a jester who doesn't want to be a jester anymore. But in the world, the rules are really strict. So you're either a mime, clown, or jester, and you can't pick which one you are. And like, there's a set of rules that come with each like kind of entertainer, which like the mime and like jester and stuff, those separate things I call classes. Like, oh, what class are you? Oh, I'm a mime, kind of thing. So yeah, because I'm trying to think of what are the big no-nos in the story. So like there's this character named Sino, which like he's not that bad, but like there's just one thing he does that's like, okay, yeah, maybe we shouldn't show that, or not show it, but like tell that to like an 8-year-old or something. And then Sylvester is sometimes weird. And then Dead End, okay, he's a big no. And also like Sylvester's and Sino's backstory is a little sad, and so is Dead End's. You know what? All the characters are messed up except Jessie, okay? Like, I'm not even joking. Pierre, he's a little messed up. Sylvester, he's a lot messed up. Sino, he's a lot messed up too. Dead End, he's super extremely messed up. Seth, he's a little bit messed up. And then there's a bunch of other side characters they're all messed up. Okay? But that is one of the stories that I'm thinking about like 24/7 currently. I almost did a lisp when I said that. So yeah, because for some of you the story might not be that big of a deal in the sense of like the bad stuff, because you know, we're not all the same. One 10-year-old might like it might not be for them, but you know what? We all grow up in different households and different rules, so like, you know, we're not all the same. So some of it might not be like that big of a deal, but for some of you it might be like, whoa, okay, didn't expect that to happen kind of thing. So yeah, I don't really know. So I'm not really sure how much I'll talk about that story on this channel, because I do try my best to keep this channel PG, even though like I draw a lot of stuff that's not for like little kids. But I do want to try to make it like a safe space, which is kind of hard, but yeah, I'm trying my best. Anywho, the next story. So the next story is about, oh yeah, the little goat characters. Sorry, I was trying to think of which one came first, because like I have quite a few more stories left to go, because I'm trying to tell you these stories in the order of how I created them. So like this little goat story that I have right now, it seems to be PG. Nothing in it. Oh wait, sorry, I just remembered something. No wait, maybe it would be PG-13. Oh my goodness, sorry, I just remembered something that happened in the story that I totally forgot about, like just now. Oh my goodness. Anyways, but it's about these 3 little goat characters. I think one will either be named Bill or Billy. I don't know, the main character. But I basically kind of want to portray with the story that, like, not everything is in black and white, and, like, there's no straight up good or bad guy. Because in the beginning, I wanted to portray that there's going to be, like, a king. Or in the story, there's, like, the peasants and stuff, and then there's a king. So I want to portray that like the king is the bad guy, but then when you look more into it, it's just this king that's just trying his best, and then there's like the main characters are kind of just annoying him and kind of like getting in the way of him doing his like kingly stuff. So I don't know, I kind of wanted that like you see why the main characters are doing what they're doing, but you also kind of see the king's reasonings as well. So yeah, but maybe it would be PG actually, just for older kids, because like that one thing that happens, I think it could slide. Oh my goodness, wait, I think I totally skipped one of my stories. There's this one story called The Boy and the Ghost, and I totally just skipped it. My bad. So, I have this story called The Boy and the Ghost. And like, I want to challenge myself again with that story and kind of like toying with the idea of like death. So like that story would probably not be for kids, because it like kind of talks about heavy topics, and like I was kind of playing around with the idea of not having like a happy ending as well. So it might be PG-13 to 14. I don't know. I don't want to say older than that, because I'm just 15, so it's like, I can't be PG-16 because I'm not even 16. But yeah, but the main character, his name's Alex. I just now realized I never really gave the names of any of the other characters. Whoops. But I feel like it would be interesting, once again, like, to toy around with this other idea in that story of, like, kind of this shy kid who's kind of a pushover, even though he's, like, 17, but, like, whatever. And he's just not very good at many things, but he's trying his best, you know? And then, like, over the story, like, progress... Oh, what? That didn't make sense. Over the story, when the story progresses over that time, he kind of slowly starts losing it and like kind of becomes crazy and a little hysterical, which I've never really done that with a character before, in the sense of like they were one way and then they became crazy kind of thing. Like you don't see that during the main story, you know? So I feel like that would be an interesting idea. Anyways, but this next story, it doesn't have a name yet. But for some reason I imagine it takes place in Japan. I don't know. But basically, to sum it up, I've already talked about this story. It's like these 3 little kids, that, you know, it's the classic situation of like, oh, there's rumored to be this monster, you know, kind of thing, and they're like elementary kids. And so they end up like looking for this supposed mystery creature called Mr. Nobody. And then they actually find him and they're like, oh wait, you're real, you know, kind of thing. So basically it kind of like goes like around that. And like they kind of find this dude that's named Mr. Nobody. And they kind of just find out that he's actually a really cool dude, and he just looks scary, but he's just a normal teen kind of thing. But then, like, the plot kind of starts going when the parents find out of his existence, and then Mr. Nobody kind of gets endangered. So, yeah. I feel like that story would be PG, because there seems to be nothing that is weird about it. So this next story is kind of like a mix kind of like a weird spin-off of Amy's Adventure into the Unknown, like, kind of like with the plot, because it's basically like a character that goes into another world, which that's basically like kind of the plot of the main, like, not the main story, the first story I created, honestly. And also the main character is a girl, which out of my 10 stories, I only have, like, only 2 of the main characters are girls out of those 10, so, So basically the story is, like, about time and space itself. Sorry, I'm realizing I'm repeating myself from this other video I did, so I'm trying to, like, tell new information, but who knows, maybe you guys have forgotten, maybe, probably not. But the main character, I was thinking her name might be Deja, but I don't know. And then there's these 2 other dude characters, because, you know, I gotta have dudes in my stories. This guy doesn't have a name, and the other dude is named Lazarus. Oh my gosh, I can't English. Lazarus. And then he has a little star buddy named Nugget, which somebody helped me name that in a comment. So I'm thinking Deja is just like a normal, like, kid. Well, she's not really a kid, but, like, I was gonna say a normal person, but she's not a human either. She's an alien, so I'm like, and then this other guy, I'm not really sure if he is normal or if he's related to Lazarus, because Lazarus is royalty, so I'm like, I don't know. But basically the plot is that, like, they're stupid teens, you know, even though I'm a teen, whatever. And basically there's this, like, weird artifact that, like, no one is allowed to touch, because it's, like, they don't know what it's about, because, like, everything in their world is, like, kind of themed around space and stuff. And then there's this one, like, red clock, and just imagine like a tombstone, but it's very big and it's bright red and there's like a clock on it. So you're not allowed to touch it because they don't really know what it's about. But then this guy is just like, hey, I dare you to touch it kind of thing. So they do, because they're idiots. And then they, like, kind of get transported. It's basically like if you guys have ever watched Amphibia, it's kind of like that, in the sense of, like, they get transported somewhere and then, like, they all get separated from each other. And I imagine this other world to be, like, completely different. Like, imagine, like, an infinite, like, empty space, but it's, like, bright red. Like, it's kind of like an empty room, but it's, like, bright red in your face. In your face, that was a weird word. And, like, they don't know what to do, because first off, they're separated, they're, like, alone, and it kind of looks empty. So it's like, as far as the eye can see is nothing. The sky is bright red, the floor is bright red, there's no, like, grass or anything, no trees, no clouds, nothing. But in reality, they're actually being watched, so how cool, you know, by this big overlord clock guy, you know? I don't know what's with me and big, powerful people and just kings and queens and all that jazz. Because I'm thinking in, like, both, because there's, like, 2 universes in that story. I don't know if universe is the correct word, because it's like, there's one with space and then the other with time. So, like, with the space, they have their own king and queen. And then in time, like, with the time, I don't know if it's, like, king, it's more of just very powerful being. So yeah, they try not to interfere with each other, but I don't know, that story I'm not really sure about. Like, there's still a lot I haven't figured out. Like, I'm still in the beginning stages of creating that story, but yeah, I think that story would be PG, by the way. I don't know, I don't see anything weird about it yet. And then the next story is, like, one of the stories I'm currently thinking about a lot, because, like, one of the stories I'm thinking about a lot is The Tale of Jessie, and then another one is this one, which is the Popups. Which currently I'm writing down the story, which I don't write down my stories ever, so that's pretty cool. So basically, it's about these kind of, I don't want to say mythical creatures, because when I think mythical, I don't think vampires and zombies. I don't really know what to call them, because, like, the main characters, one is a zombie, that's Eddie, and then Cole is a vampire, and then Zeke is a little gremlin. But then again, they're not, like, straight up gremlins and, like, vampires and stuff, because they don't follow the, like, made up rules, you know, because, like, Cole does not burn up in the sun, so they're basically monsters, but, like, at the same time, they're unsure what their species are. Oh, and by the way, when I say the Pop-Ups, I'm referring to the story, and also I'm referring to all 3 of the main characters. So yeah, so basically the plot is just, like, the Pop-Ups kind of, like, they don't find this dude that's a scientist, it's the scientist guy finds them, and then he kind of takes them in, and then, like, the scientist guy kind of does tests on them, but doesn't really, like, the Pop-Ups aren't really aware of this. So basically it's like, they're getting tested on, and then they find out that this guy isn't really the greatest guy, so they kind of have to try to escape from him. And I also feel like I want the main characters to kind of be like mentally challenged, including the scientist guy, which I feel like would be pretty interesting because I don't think I've really done that with most of my stories. But in order to do that, I feel like I would really need to like look into like mental disorders and then just all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know. We'll see what happens with that story because I honestly really like this story, the Pop-Ups. Because I don't know, I love like Eddie so much. He's just like a big guy. He's like scary, but like he's just adorable at the same time. Oh, that's another thing. I feel like at first when like you meet them, they're scary, and then you realize they're just children basically, and they're like just so wholesome, but then like the food they eat kind of just scares you again, because you know Eddie's a zombie, brains, and then like Cole is a vampire, so blood, and then Zeke, I imagine he just eats meat, and it doesn't matter what kind of meat it is, he will eat it. And he will eat it raw, by the way. So yeah, it's kind of like, oh, they scare you, but then you realize they're chill, and then they scare you again, so fun. Wow, we're at 20 minutes already. Are you guys bored? Because I know I'm not. So moving on to the last story. Well, I think it's the last one. There should be 10 stories. I don't know, maybe I missed one. So this one is literally just called Aussie and Cloud Guy, because it's kind of like one of those shows where it's like, you know, like Tom and Jerry, it's just literally the names of the main characters. So it's kind of just like these two characters just like playing around and just being silly. I don't really want to talk about the plot though, because I kind of want to just keep that a secret, because I hopefully will make it into a thing soon. I don't know. I'm kind of losing motivation. I don't know. Because one person animating something is hard. So I don't know. I'll see what happens. And that's kind of why I haven't made another like sketchbook tour video in a while, because like there's some drawings in like the next sketchbook that has spoilers and stuff for a certain story. So I don't know, I'll see what I'm gonna do with that. Anyways, I feel like that story would be rated PG. There's nothing currently that, oh wait, I would say there's nothing that's kind of weird, but Cloud Guy, his full name is the Naked Cloud Guy, so I don't know, I think Cloud Guy is just a little weird. I don't know. So yeah, those are all those 10 stories. I don't think the video is gonna be done yet. I think I'm just gonna continue to ramble. I honestly have no idea how much longer I'm gonna do this, because all my videos aren't scripted, so Anywho, but like one of the stories I was talking about earlier that was called BSB Escape, I was thinking about it the other day. And then I had this idea for it, because in the story there's like robot characters and it's kind of compared to like Five Nights at Freddy's, and then I had an idea for it, and then I was thinking about it more, and I'm just like, oh wait, if I do that idea, it's just gonna make it more like Five Nights at Freddy's. And I'm like, oh no, because I didn't mean for it to like kind of be like that. I don't even like, I'm not into Five Nights at Freddy's, just because like as a kid, I thought it was scary, so I never really got into it, even though I have heard some fan-made songs, and it's really good, and my cousin, when I was younger, told me some of the lore, and it seemed interesting. But my idea was, like, what if the robot characters, well, all the characters aren't robots, just, like, about half of them, and the other half, I honestly have no idea what they are. I don't know if they're just monsters or what, but, like, I was thinking, what if those characters were human at one point? I'm honestly not too familiar with the Five Nights at Freddy. Oh my god, I almost butchered that. Five Nights at Freddy's lore, so I don't really know how some of the characters, like, became the little robot things. I honestly have no idea what's going in the story, but I'm just like, in my story, I don't know how my characters became the little monsters they are now and how it happened, because I'm not really sure how the world is, because it seems to be pretty normal, like meaning like no magic or anything, but I'm like, okay, but that part isn't magical. Wait, what am I talking about? Like, everything except the actual characters aren't out of place, you know? Because I kind of just want that story to kind of be like a little freak show kind of thing. Like, the story takes place at a carnival. That's what I'm trying to say. So I'm not really sure how I'm going to, like, figure out how those characters became monsters in the first place. I think I only want to do this just because I want to, like, imagine those characters as if they were human. And I know I can just do it and not make it canon, but it would be so cool if it was canon, you know? Anyways, switching topics again. I'm currently working on this drawing for a video, or possible video. I made a short of it a while ago, or maybe not that too long ago. I honestly don't know when I'm posting this video, of me drawing my characters Seth and Dead End. So hopefully I can like make it into a video soon. I'm just like trying trying to figure out their designs and stuff, and I feel like I'm putting like a lot of pressure on myself to like make the designs finalized and like good. So I'm making a few last minute decisions. I'm like, oh, didn't think I was gonna do that. Because for some reason I'm telling myself that these drawings are like their final design, and I'm like, Pinkink, don't do that. I just need to tell myself that I can change them whenever I want, so just don't put pressure, okay? So yeah, and I've also been wanting to like work on animation stuff, because like I lose the motivation to like finish animations and stuff, and sometimes even making them, because I think my problem is I want the final product without getting there, you know? I want the destination without putting any of the work into it, you know? Wow, I say you know a lot. Because there are 2 animations that I haven't, no, actually there's more animations I haven't finished, and I wish I could, which I can, I just no motivation, huh? But yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. Anyways, I'm gonna talk about me personally, because I feel like you guys don't know me personally a little bit. I'm just gonna say random stuff, because yes. I found this little piano game that's so fun. Like, look at it! I'm sure you guys have seen a bajillion ads of like this style app before, and I got it. The ads got to me. Honestly, no, that's not what happened. My little sister got the game, and then I found myself stealing her tablet to play the game, and I'm like, let me just get this app for myself instead of stealing it from my little sister. Like, just look at the game.
Right around, call that relay. That's the tone back in the most in the pool, can't do them on. Piece of this, a piece of mine, a piece of sign, can you?
You guys have no idea how many times I have failed with this game. Good times. Oh, and by the way, I'm gonna go on a little trip, so I'm trying to speedrun this video, to like post it before I go on the trip, but who knows, maybe I'll post it after the trip. That's why I have no idea when this video is going up. Oh, and little random thing, well, I guess this whole video is random, but whatever. You know, like my little Pinkink character that I use as a persona? I was thinking about redrawing those little like I guess, I don't even know what you call these emotes. I don't know, PNG YouTuber, I don't know. Because I drew that quite a decent amount of time ago, and I feel like my drawing style is different, but I was just thinking about how to redo them, if I want to do it in my same style, or like how I want to draw them, because I've seen other YouTubers with this kind of style, in the sense of they have like the little puppety characters for their persona, and sometimes it's very detailed on the drawing, and most of the time, honestly, it's very doodly and like, yes, it's within their style, but like their normal style is normally way more detailed. So I'm just like kind of debating on how I want to draw my little Pinkink character. So I don't know. And also I feel like I don't really fit the personality of Pinkink in my head, because I feel like Pinkink is this fun, happy person or whatever, and I honestly imagine her to have a different voice, like probably just my voice, but just more higher pitched, because I feel like sometimes I can talk really low, and I just feel like my personality, oh my god, to Pinkink is different, because I just imagine her to be optimistic, and then I'm kind of pessimistic, honestly. So I don't really know, because I'm just thinking about the facial expressions that I'm gonna make for Pinkink, and some of them I feel like don't fit with her character. So I'm just like, okay, is she a mascot or is she my persona? What is it? Is it both? What? I have too many things that I'm thinking about in my tiny little smooth brain. I only have 2 brain cells, and then one of my friends asked if they can have one of mine, so in reality I only have one, so there are some of you who are like functioning on like a half brain cell, so I don't know how you guys are doing. What the heck am I talking about? Okay. Anyways, hopefully I didn't forget any random stuff I wanted to say. Gosh, I hate English. English is my freaking first language. I don't really have a second one. I guess Spanish, even though I'm Hispanic and I barely know Spanish. Anyways, I do not look Hispanic. If you were to look at me in real life, I am the most white that ever whited. And I don't have an accent at all. Gosh, I need to stop rambling about this. Anywho, hope you enjoyed me talking about who knows what. And honestly, this whole video was kind of just me brain barfing on to you guys. Wow, that sounded really weird. I just imagined that. Okay, that was not... No, I should never say that again. So yeah, I'm just gonna end this video before I keep rambling about who knows what.
Bye.
Okay, my trip is literally tomorrow and I haven't packed yet, and I just finished the video. Oh my goodness. Okay, and all I need to do now is make a thumbnail. Hopefully I'll post the video today. Well, I'm pretty sure I'm gonna post the video today. I wonder what the thumbnail's gonna look like. I should have probably made the thumbnail first. Oh my god, I have so much stuff to do today. Ah!